Somebody got deep water training on New Year's Day in 1929. It was the school Georgia Tech who played the University of California in the Rose Bowl. And in that game, a man named Roy Riegels recovered a fumble for California, but became confused and ran the wrong direction. He ran 65 yards in the wrong direction. One of his teammates outran him and tackled him on their own 1 yard line just before he could score for the other team. Cal attempted to punt on the next play, but the punt was blocked and there was a safety scored. Halftime came and the players filed off the field. Riegels was inconsolable. He had messed up in the game, found himself in deep water training. He is in despair now. He is ashamed now. He's hurting on the inside, and spiritually, he is in the belly of the beast of his emotions. He put his blanket around his shoulders and he sat down in a corner, not talking or looking at anybody, hiding his face in shame. The coach at the time, Coach Nibs Price, looked at the team and said, "Men, want to let you know that the same team that played in the first half is going to be the same team that played in the second half." The players got up and started out, but Riegels stayed there, sat back in the back. Coach Price looked at and called him by name. He didn't move. So then Coach Price went over to where Riegels sat and said, "Roy, didn't you hear me? The same team that played the first half will start the second half." Riegels looked up with his cheeks were wet from the strong man's tears. He's been crying. And Coach, he said, "I'm sorry I messed up. I can't do this to save my life. I've ruined you. I've ruined the team." Then Coach reached out in his hand and put it on his shoulders and said to him, "Roy, get up and go on back because the game is only half over." Oh, I want somebody to see where I'm going with this. Though Cal lost the game 8-7, Riegels played an outstanding second half. He eventually became Cal's football captain the next season, gaining All-American mention. He was later a member of their coaching staff and an officer in the Army during World War II. And in 1991, 2 years before his death, he was inducted into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame. He had the nickname Wrong Way Riegels, famous or infamous in Rose Bowl history. But here's the shout for you and me. He didn't quit. All his wrong was just training ground to do it right the second time. Coach told him, "We still got a second half to play. We still got a second half to go out there and win." And family, all God wants to tell you today in your training, in your deep water training, no matter what you're going through that got you in that deep water, there is still a second half to play. And because you've learned your lesson the first time, my shout is he can trust you in the second half of the game. Live the second half of your life better than you did the first. Live the second opportunity to live after the accident better than the first. Live the second opportunity to be employed at a new position better than you did the last one that you lost. Everything has been deep water training. You've got to do better than the last time that you had it. Do better in the next relationship than you did in the last. Learn your lesson in the deep water training that God can allow you to be successful in the second half. The game's not over. Family, as long as there's blood running warm in your vein, the game's not over. Deep water training takes you to the second half. So, just like the coach told Roy, Wrong Way Riegels, dry your eyes. There's still a game to be played. And I'm still a coach that trusts you. I still believe you gonna do better this time. I still know that my training is gonna give you everything you need. And just like Jonah, just like us, after failing time and time again, ending ourselves up in fishy situations, Jonah got word from the Lord that the game wasn't over. Get back out there and do it. I'm reminded of a losing T'Challa as he's doing the challenge in Black Panther. He's losing. He's about to lose his ability to be the king. Then all of a sudden, out of the distance, you hear his mother, who believes in him, say these words to him that ignite a fire under him. Show them who you are. And all I want to tell somebody is God is testing you like Jonah. And when he puts you on solid ground again, it's there for you to show them who you are. Deep water training was set up for God's heavens gaining. Everything you've gone through has been deep water training for heavens gaining. If we find ourselves in deep water training, be like Jonah. Learn the lesson. Earn back the blessing.